Hello, and hope you guys are all doing well during this time. I've had a little break myself, but hope you guys are safe and staying safe and wearing your mask. I know like a couple years ago on this channel, it was like 2017 or 18, I went downtown and did a quick little recap, took pictures of separation of families, immigration protest. But it seems chilling, but 2 years or so from now, 2020, we're protesting the same thing, it seems. And I came across another protest, similar concept, except they're freeing the kids in the cages, because sometimes it's an issue that just gets tossed to the side, so they're just trying to bring awareness to it. And somehow, like 2 weeks ago, before 4th of July, just a flyer came up, and it was like on Twitter and floating around on Facebook. So miraculously, it did get traction, because I saw it like a couple times. And I shot all these on Olympus stylus. And if you can, just stick around towards the end and listen to each person's like testimony. It is pretty heart-moving.
It's going to be simple. We're going to say, free our children, no walls, no cages. Okay? Yeah. Free our children!
No walls, no cages!
Free our children!
No walls, no cages!
You guys ready?
Yeah!
Let's go!
No walls, no cages! 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 No peace! No peace! Justice! Now! Justice! No walls, no cages! 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 Ho ho! These cages have to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! These cages have to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! These cages have to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! These cages have to go!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
Free our children!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
When do we want it?
Now!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
When do we want it?
Now!
When do we want it?
Now!
Hey, hey!
Cages! No walls, no cages! Unido! Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it? What do we want?
These cages have to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! These cages have to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! These cages have to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! These cages have to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! These cages have to go! No walls, no cages!
Your voice is heard, and I really appreciate everyone being here.
Been here since '99. I've seen the city grow in as far as the buildings and also in diversity, and I love it. I mean, this is a beautiful place to live. This country is a beautiful place to live, but some changes need to happen, and that's what motivates me, because I know my mom takes from here so that we could live a life like the ones that the kids in the detention centers are. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it.
Darlin, 10 years old. Jacqueline, 7 years old. Felipe, 8 years old. Juan, 16 years old. Wilmer, 2.5 years old. These children died in U.S. custody. If you try to explain these deaths away, shame on you. Ask yourself first why a 2.5-year-old was in a border control facility. Because the biggest difference is that they are breaking the law. But at 2.5 years old, how do you explain who's at fault? For being born? And even then, although prisons aren't great, they don't look like border facilities. And then ask yourself, if the conditions weren't as bad as they are, would any of them have gotten sick in the first place? If they had appropriate health care, would they have died? Where do the All Lives Matter people now? These 5 deaths are your fault. These are just 5 that I included, but there's many more. When you say say all lives matter, what you're really saying is that the ones who think are worthy matter. The media and anti-immigrant supporters like to cite the dangerous nature of those being deported. I don't know about you, but a 2.5-year-old doesn't seem like a threat. And it's bigger than that. The number of arrestees without known convictions has gone up 146%, compared to 12% of people with actual past criminal convictions. Now some statistics from the U.S. Treasury, the government that everyone loves so much. Research from the Small Business Administration shows that while they are only 12% of the U.S. population, immigrants represent 16.7% of all new business owners in the U.S. Overall, immigrants own 10.8% of all firms with employees, providing job opportunities for thousands of Americans. Studies estimating the fiscal impacts of immigrants have found that taxes, including state, federal, and Social Security taxes, that immigrants pay exceeds the cost of services they use in aggregate and over the long run. Children of immigrants have a long-run fiscal impact similar to that of the children of U.S.-born population. And in fact, enter the labor force and pay far more taxes than they receive in benefits. So I'll conclude with this. If the humanizing of immigrants didn't make you stop and think about the ways we should improve treatment of immigrants, that we have different morals and you do not have the same heart as I do. But if I can hear you know the facts of how immigrants need the U.S. to flow economically, you're still against immigration, that you're just racist and have nothing to rely on anymore than a hatred for the other who doesn't look like you.
And symbol for immigration. Just like these butterflies cross because it's in their nature, migration has also been a part of the human experience since the Earth's beginning. It is time. We need to embrace humanity, appreciate our differences, value everyone's contribution to this great nation, and fight to defend the rights of migrants. This is a country of immigrants, made up of people from all over the world just longing to be free. People cross because they want to do what's best for their children. They cross to have better opportunities. They want to be with their families that are already here in the U.S., and they cross to escape violence and other terrible conditions. I am the proud daughter of an immigrant, and if it wasn't for my mother choosing to leave her country, I would not have been born in this wonderful nation, nor have the opportunities or choices I have today. We are all immigrants, and we all deserve freedom. As our Pledge of Allegiance states, this country promises liberty and justice for all.
Mamá mariposa dice que nos tenemos que ir. Mamá mariposa dice que nos tenemos que huir del frío, de la violencia. Mamá mariposa dice que este va a ser un viaje muy largo. Mamá mariposa, tengo sed. Mamá mariposa, tengo hambre. Mamá mariposa, ¿será bonito el jardín? Habrá luz de esperanza. Mamá mariposa, tengo miedo, pero tú estás conmigo. Juntos podemos. Mamá mariposa, no te veo. Mamá mariposa, ¿dónde estás? Mamá mariposa, ¿me escuchas? Mamá mariposa, este jardín está bien frío. Mamá mariposa, en este jardín nos estamos enfermando. Mamá mariposa, yo no creo que este es el jardín que tú me prometiste, que tú me hiciste soñar. Mamá mariposa, aquí yo no puedo volar, estoy en una jaula. Mamá mariposa, es que me están arrancando las alas.
Shouldn't be happening, because we know what's up, we know what's going on, and I know that a lot of our parents have maybe settled and they're happy because the treatment that they're getting here in comparison to their countries is light years better, pero para nosotros no es suficiente. It's not enough. That's all I have to say in regards to that. Por favor, keep people connected. If you know young people that want to get involved and don't know how to get involved, get them enrolled in different type of nonprofits. They don't specifically have to be for immigration or whatever, you know, although that would be lit. But definitely, you know, let them know, hey, there's all these other nonprofits out here. And if you live in rural North Carolina, then get together, get a little group, and reach out to other nonprofits in major cities because they can get you access to those resources so you you can bring them to those counties and rural areas that don't have enough resources.
Thank everybody for being out here. I feel like I've been going to immigration rallies for so long, and I'm so hopeful for change, but you know, you get beat down when you hear the rhetoric on the news, and so it's very hopeful just to see people, even here in Raleigh, organizing and trying to change things. I am the daughter of immigrants. I was fortunate enough to be born here, but you know, just because my parents chose to immigrate and before I was born, that makes me no better than the kids that are in cages. I have no more right to be here than they, or I have no less right, they have no less right to be here than I do. But I just wanted to share my husband's story with you. He was an immigrant, undocumented. We got married, we were young, we were dumb, didn't know anything about immigration system or how to navigate through his residency, so we kind of put it off. Long story short, about 11 years ago, he was pulled over in Cary, North Carolina for having his license plate crooked. That was what the cop pulled him over for. The license plate on his truck he was missing one screw, is what the cop told him. So the cop proceeded to search his whole truck. Then he proceeded to run his name. He had an old traffic violation that had been taken care of, but the cop said, "Oh, you have an outstanding warrant for you for a traffic violation." And under that, they arrested my husband and brought him here to downtown Raleigh. He was there. Once he got there, the police said, "Oh yeah, you know, you're right. You don't have an outstanding warrant, but you're an undocumented immigrant." And this was pre, you know, the movement now that we have the sheriff that doesn't work with ICE anymore. This was when the sheriff still worked with ICE, so they detained him. He ended up being sent to Stewart detention in Georgia. And even I, as a U.S. citizen, as an educated woman, speaking English, the navigating through that and getting him out of that and getting him back home and getting his status fixed was like a nightmare. So I can't imagine what people who don't speak the language, what they go through to try to legalize their status. When people say get in the line, do it the right way, there is no line, there is no right way. You know, they don't give us that opportunity. You know, it's by the grace of God that my husband was able to fix his status and was able to come home, but even though he was able to come home and fix his status, I will continue to march and continue to fight until everybody has that same equality.
I work under DACA, which a lot of Hispanic kids that I know work under DACA. At first, well, when I was a kid, I was in high school, whatever, I didn't know what I was. I didn't understand. I didn't know that I was an illegal immigrant. I grew up here. My mom brought me when I was 1. I was fortunate to grow up here and get a good job and do all this stuff. And once I understood that I was an illegal immigrant, that's when I started getting scared. I would go to school. I drove to school. I didn't care. I was 16 driving to school. I was in class. The whole class would just be like, Mike's driving, he doesn't have a license, blah, blah, blah. They don't know the reason why. They don't know the reason why for this. A whole bunch of my friends, they joined the military. Like most kids, most teenagers, you want to do something with your life. You don't know what you're going to do. A lot of them pursue military. Well, I tried to pursue the military. I cannot join the military. I didn't understand why at first. And now I understand. I'm older, I work, my mom is an illegal immigrant, my uncle which raised me, he's an illegal immigrant, and I'd give him the world. If I could, I'd give him the world. I'd do anything for them. The point I want to get to is that today I'm speaking in front of you and I'm looking everywhere because I'm nervous as hell. I don't do this. But the point is, we cannot be scared anymore. Yes. Like, we cannot be scared. Like, I hate the fact that I go to work every day and I come home and my phone rings and it's my sister or my brother and I'm thinking, oh my God, did something happen to my mother? Did something happen to my uncle? Like, it's a constant thing. Like, what's going on? And they always look after me too. They're always like, what's up? What are you doing? I travel a lot for work. So there's a lot of risk in that. I'm protected to a certain level, but honestly, too, there's a point where we can just lose it. And we're fighting for that right now. And I'm standing up for everybody I can, and I'm glad everybody's standing up right now because we need to get ahead. Everybody, nothing's gonna change until we get rid of these borders that are like throwing us down. We cannot be scared anymore. We cannot be scared. There's a lot, like they've been talking about all these organizations that'll help you. No matter what, we always got help. We gotta stay 10 toes down, and we just gotta stay strong. And I thank everybody that's here. I'm gonna cry, so.
I'm Mariana, I'm 13 years old. So I feel like it's so sad what these kids are going through, and I feel like we should be able to march for what we stand for. And what should we be scared of? The police, the people that are supposed to help us? That's sad. And I feel like even COVID-19 won't stop me to fight for what I care for. My people, my people. It shouldn't matter about color or age. That's sad. These people are my people. And the president, come on now, he's supposed to be our people. I'm 13 and I don't care how old I am. I'll be 80 walking out here for the people that matter. And it's not about color. It's not about color. You could be white, Mexican, black. We don't care. We're all equal. That's how it should be. And this, if I will stand out here forever until it's like that, I don't care how it is. That's the way it should be. And that's the way it's going to be.
Yes, thank you guys for watching. And the next protest organized by this group is coming up this Saturday. So if you're in the Raleigh area or surrounding states and you'd like to participate, feel free to come out this Saturday. And it's like a awareness and protest for justice for Vanessa. Thank you for watching, and please stay safe.